Welcome to Build Up, the European Commission's portal for energy efficiency and renewable energy in buildings. Directly stemming from the Energy Performance of Buildings Directive, Build Up is the meeting place for everyone involved in making the European building and construction sector more energy efficient. Every month we focus on a topic that is key to making Europe's buildings as energy efficient as possible. Exploring that, you can find the latest content such as expert talks, webinars, case studies and more. From architects and engineers to academics and policy makers, we've got you covered. Build Up brings together thousands of registered members to reap the benefit of Europe's collective intelligence on all aspects of energy efficiency and renewable energy in buildings. The Build Up portal benefits from the expertise of our ambassadors. Drawn from industry and academia, the ambassadors bridge the gap between EU and national level and help shape our editorial content. Want to promote your work? Build Up disseminates your research, projects and events through a variety of channels. Become a member to exchange knowledge with your peers. You can disseminate tools and resources, share good practices, and consult open source publications. Join the discussion on social media and become part of the Build Up community, or subscribe to our newsletter to receive the latest news. However you participate, the Build Up portal is here to inspire, inform and connect. Build Up, the European portal for energy efficiency and renewable energy in buildings. Join the community for opportunities and updates.
Good morning and welcome once again to Build Up. My name is Jordi Gonzalez and today we have the pleasure of bringing to you, along with Eurac Research, this workshop event entitled BIM-based digital workflow for the industrialized deep renovation. This event is going to be split into 7 main parts, during which we will delve into the role of the INFINITE project in providing an environment to manage building data. But before we begin, we invite and encourage you, the audience, to ask questions, to provide your questions. To do so, you only have to click on the question button in GoToWebinar, type your name and the name of the person you want to ask the question to, and at the end of the session, we will have a brief Q&A to answer them. Let's see what we have in store for today. Let's check the agenda. First of all, Stefano Besani is going to come here and talk about the challenge of building data management in deep renovation. After that, Martino Gubert is going to join us for a virtual demo and practical application of the workflow. After that, Davide Madedu is going to show us a live demo of the INFINITE BIM platform. Then Friedrich Hostenberg is going to show us the LCA plugin, followed by the Comfort plugin with Daniele Antonucci and the O&M plugin with Saed Raji. And finally, Davide is going to join us once again for the installation plugin. And as he said, after all these 7 sessions, Stefano Besani is going to join us once again to host a brief Q&A sessions to answer all of your questions, so feel free to add them in the question box. And now, without further ado, I'd like to bring Stefano Besani here. Stefano, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Stefano. The floor is yours.
Good morning, and yeah, I'm very happy to be here to introduce you the INFINITE project in a nutshell, and then to let all the INFINITE colleagues to get into the details about this industrialized deep retrofit and the digitalized approach to have it done, let's say, in the best way. So what about the INFINITE projects? INFINITE exists because, of course, we all know we are obliged to decarbonize the building stock. There have been many initiatives at European level, and there are more and more requirements and, let's say, desiderata and wish list. We have to do it in the proper way, and for doing this, the industrialized approach is one of the possible key. So Infinite project exists to increase the market penetration of this industrialized approach through the realization of all-in-one envelope system, reaching then the NZEP for and as an energy standard for the building. What do we intend to this? So we intend to try to, of course, lower the energy demand of the building via efficient envelope, and then lower the energy fossil fuel demand, electrify as much as possible the energy demand, and cover these turned in consumption with solar systems, prioritizing self-consumptions, keeping high indoor comfort, and in Infinite we have tried to work under the live motif of people-centric approach, and keeping the sustainability as a central goal. These are the technologies we have developed and the solution overall. So there are envelope technologies, but also, as we will see today, solutions like BIM Platform and a series of plugins and an adaptive building management system. So why industrialized approach? I think since years we are talking in research, but also in innovation, company innovation fields about the advantages. So being integrated, systemic, including monitoring, control, and trying to letting emerge the durability and sustainability advantages as much as possible. Infinite is more or less in the second half of its way to close. So we have developed and validated all the technologies, and now we are approaching the demonstration phase. Here in this slide, you see different stakeholders we have tried to take hold, and the different phases of an industrialized deep retrofit. And so the Infinite results have the ambition to serve all the phases and all the stakeholders to be involved. So in the, let's say, early phase of evaluating investment and evaluating potential, we have developed such BIM platform and market potential map and an observatory. Then BIM platform again with plugins and all the prefabricated solutions will serve as tools for the design phase, implementation and commissioning. And finally, during operation with the ABMS, you will be able to assure that what you have implemented will operate as expected. So I let the let's say floor to Martino Gubert to focus on an analysis on virtual demo, and I let you with this motto: let's renovate faster and better, and also thanks to industrialized renovation. Martino.
Thanks a lot, Stefano. Here we are. So I will take the control of the presentation. So let's start with the presentation regarding the virtual demo and practical application workflow that we've developed within Infinite project. So the content of the presentation is first the scope, so why we are doing it, then a methodology, how to do it, and then how we do it, and then a practical application, so a case study in a virtual demo. So the scope is twofold. So the first is to test the implementation of the Infinite BIM platform and the digital tool related to boost the market activation for deep industrialized retrofit. And then the second is develop a service to be offered to the companies or others to perform a fast techno-economic analysis for building deep industrialized renovation. So looking at the concept, so within Infinite, we develop a set of different digital tools. Let's say the first one is the BIM platform that will be explained later on, and then several plugins that can be used for this techno-economic feasibility scenario to drive the investment of a building owner, real estate, or property management to drive their investment in renovating their building stock. So looking at the process of this analysis is starting as a first point, first step with the owner engagement. So describing the aim of the techno-economic analysis, understanding their needs and their target, and then evaluating their budget and the possible willingness to pay extra benefit. The second step is data collection, so geometric data and energy data of the building, so to collect what we can gather from the building owner. And then the third step is start to modeling, so build a 3D model on Revit and then integrate it in the BIM platform. After that, thanks to the connection of the BIM platform with the several plugins, we can run several simulations. The first one is the energy and performance plugin. So we can evaluate the electric profile and the electric load of the state of art of the building, and then subsequently the retrofit scenario solutions based on the different solutions we can collect. And then the fifth step, we can include several other plugins like the life cycle costing analysis, so to perform a life cycle costing and then a benchmarking. And at the end, we can realize a short report to show the results to the investors. So let's go directly to the practical application on a virtual demo in Spain. We collect as a first and second step the owner wishing list and then the data of the buildings thanks to our partner in Spain. As you can see here, the second step or the third step was to model it. In this case, we had just the 2D drawings, so we take a couple of hours to build up a simplified 3D model in Revit and then to connect all the characteristics of the buildings in their families. And then we include this model into the BIM platform, and then we group several information on the walls, on all the system of the buildings. And then we connected this BIM 3D model to the ENCOM plugin, adding also the occupancy level and other useful information to run the simulation. And thanks to that, we can arrive to an energy results. So in this case, it's retrofit concept, but we can have also the state of art. Useful to have the comparison to see the improvement. As you can see on the right, we can add different kind of measures. So in this case, a prefabricated facade, changing the windows and changing the cooling system. After that, we ran several cost analysis thanks to a simplified tool. So not just the investment cost, but also the maintenance and operational cost. And then we are developing now the end of life evaluations. Thanks to this analysis, we can compare the different scenarios, so the state of art, the deep building retrofit analysis with the industrialized one. So at the end, we just came up with a short 4-page report for the building owner or for the investors to let them know the main results of the analysis. So I'm also finished with like a phrase to let's boost industrialized renovation together. We need to act now, no more excuse. And then with this, I let the floor to Davide Madeddu for the next presentation.
Hi, good morning to everyone. Yeah. I'm Davide, and I present the BIM platform that is a platform that allows to work in BIM in a seamless way. It's a platform that is available for each construction stakeholder and support the design and operation phases. As we said, the BIM platform supports the BIM workflows, and as you know, these workflows are multidisciplinary and needs a sort of a workspace that must be shared mostly. The platform then will provide basically a shared workspace that allow different teams that can work together, for example, engineers, architects, and they can work to exchange data each other, not only inside the platform, but also, as you see next, with the different plugins. The main goal of the platform and the main functionality is that we can collect all documents in one place. Then with this point in mind, we can manage, disseminate all the project information that can include drawings, BIM models, but also specification and all kind of documentation in one place that is a sort of a place of a single truth. Is basically the concept of a common data environment. This will be a very important thing because reduce the errors and the risk of miscommunication and other things like that. To support this kind of workflow, we create features that allow, for example, to create different custom folders hierarchy. Different users can use different folders, and these are one of the main differences with other commercial applications that allow you just to create the same hierarchy of the folders. But also we implemented all the things that are needed to work in the construction industry, and all the platform allow to work with the standards like ISO 19650, that is the industry standard for the BIM work, and this will help architects, engineers to stay in compliance with all the latest requirements of the standards. And to do that, we allow, for example, to change the status, the resources, but also to classify and tagging the resources that we put on the platform. Like, for example, you can upload all the documents and classify this document for categorize, and also to help to find the right document in the right moment for the right people. Another important thing is that obviously, as is a multidisciplinary and also multi-user platform, we need to give the data security. Then the BIM-P ensure that it is a controlled access to the project information that can protect sensitive information, sensitive data, and allow just the precise team members to access to the relevant documentation. Another important thing is that there is the implementation of the history of the changes. Then basically the document revisions can be seen over time and they can be easily tracked. This is a very important thing because there is a clear history of changes in the documents, drawings, and BIM models. And basically at the end, you be sure that where you are working is the most updated information. About that is also possible to obviously view the BIM models. There is a viewer, IFC BIM model, you can see in the IFC standard, and also there is a open API interface that allows to integrate external application in the platform, like for example the plugins that we developed in the INFINITE project, but also other software and applications that exist, for example, in the commercial realm. Another important thing and feature of the platform is that you can work directly in your native model. Then, for example, you can choose your BIM authoring tool you prefer. That you can just export and upload just one time your IFC model, and then thank you to BIM-P API and the engine that we have inside the platform, you can share the geometry and the data in the real time with all the authoring tools, and this could be very easy for each design interaction. An important thing is, for example, as you see in the video, that BIM Viewer can support the visualization of the IFC, And then this is important because you can see, for example, all the model elements. You can see the hierarchy, you can see the properties directly inside the BIM viewer in the web application. And there is also the possibility that, as I've seen before, that the user can work directly with the preferred BIM authoring tool. And this is an example of Revit connected with the BIM-P, that there is the user interact with the system. And also at the end, all the BIM model can be enriched with the documents that can be linked, referenced together with the BIM elements. This is so much important because it's very useful when you're working not only design, doing the renovation, but you can manage the information of operation, maintenance, like you'll see in this video. Another important thing is that, for example, in operation phase, and you can select the elements that are inside your model, and you see all the properties that can be exchanged with the plugins. And at the end, another important thing is that you can link documents of directly with this BIM element. Then you can search, filter, and view all the operation things that are inside your model, that are inside your building. As you see there, you can categorize, you can group all the elements, and you can see directly here, for example, as a link, as a reference, all the documentation. Documentation could be PDF about, I don't know, data sheets or important information about the warranties and so on, but can be also other drawings, other BIM models that can be referenced together, maintaining all the history, all the tracker changes, and so on. And also you can share with other users, and you can give them permissions to access to that. Yeah, thank you. I leave the floor to my next colleague.
That would be me, Friedrich Halstmerkmann. I'm trying to take over the control. I think I have it. Great. So I'm going to present the LCA plugin, which we've also developed in the INFINITE project. Hopefully I can change the slides. Yes. So I'm going to start with user group definition. We sat together in the beginning of the project and defined who this plugin would be for, because yeah, LCA is a little bit of a specialized topic, but also now getting increasingly important to, let's say, a growing number of users. So we try to focus on the design team, building design team, but also investor customers that could access the LCA, so the environmental lifecycle assessment data, and also the social lifecycle assessment data of the respective projects. We wanted to enable the technology providers that provide different solutions, such as new kinds of facades, windows, solar thermal elements into the building to provide information and enhance the environmental and social calculations. The same accounts for manufacturers, installers, of course, energy facility managers, also the final users that could give feedback on their living environments, which of course would be more on the social side, but also on things like energy consumption, costs, etc. And of course, we also wanted this tool to be used by LCA specialists. Which obviously is very important to have someone who is familiar with the methodology using the tool. So what are the main functionalities? So like I said, we can calculate the environmental impacts. We can analyze the hotspots in the life cycle of the building retrofitting solutions. We're able to model different renovation solutions options, both in terms of kits. So we speak of kits as like groups of components, but also the whole building. We wanted to be able to rank the different options according to environmental parameters. and also to update the LCA results sort of in the process of the design and planning of the renovations. So you know that sometimes in the beginning of these projects you have little information about the actual impacts, actual electricity consumptions, gas consumptions, etc. So you have to put in some estimate data, and then we wanted to have the option to be able to update these results accordingly when you have better information. You can also show the impact presented per single stage, but also for the whole life cycle. And we also wanted some extended visualization functionalities of the system boundaries and the life cycle stages. Okay, that being said, I will show a little demo video of the plugin. So basically, it starts with a basic user management system that we have that also allows you to share elements, processes, etc. Then we have two main areas, buildings and kits. We have an infinite building library, infinite kit library, and then the user kit library where the user can specify their own kits and create them, delete them, etc. If you create a new kit, you have to give it a name. There is some additional information on the manufacturer. You can give it a description. You have to give it a flow property. So basically, what are we assessing? Is it 1 kilogram of something, or a cubic meter, or a square meter? Right, so now we've created a new kit, and we can add and modify different life cycle stages. We do have, in this particular case, an EcoInvent database in the tool, but also other databases can be added. And you can also see here, when you look for respective processes, you can see the EcoInvent database processes that you can add. So now we're adding a transport process of this particular test cladding via lorry, and then we can search what we have in our background database if we don't have the data firsthand available. So now we've added two lifecycle stages. Now, obviously, we can also modify these processes. We can add all kinds of different flows to these lifecycle stages, and we can add a technical specification. We can add additional documents, so basically any JSON or PDF file. We can also add social aspects for the social lifecycle assessment. So now we're going to go back and perform a calculation. Okay, so we can set up all the different lifecycle phases that we want to see in our calculation, and we have to press, we have to select our method, of course. All usual lifecycle assessment, impact assessment methods are available in this tool. So here we're using the environmental footprint method, and then we run a little bit of a calculation. It takes a second because we are calculating quite some processes here. And you see that once the calculation is done, one will be redirected. And now we can see the different results for all of the different indicators that we have here, so climate change, toxicity, etc. And we can differentiate for all of the different life cycle phases. We also have some visualizations here where you can see how much contribution we have to the respective indicators from the respective life cycle phase. And of course, one of the important functionalities was also a plugin into the BIM-P platform. So that is the last thing in this video we'll show. So we have to connect to BIM-P. We have to use our BIM-P username here and add some specification then, add the password, of course. have to log into the BIM-P platform. Now we get a little notification. Okay, so we're connected, and we can we have to specify some information to localize our results within the BIM-P platform. And now when we've selected everything, we can create the BIM-P resource, and then we can see it's added in BIM-P as a resource here, and we have a couple of different information we can see, so we can download this respective document, and we have all the impacts in that as a classification, there's description and tag, reference links, and the history. Okay, so those are basically the main functionalities. I will add, sorry, now the video starts again. No, thank you. Sorry. Okay, yeah, and I also want to show one more functionality, which is the comparison, which is a newer functionality of the plugin, because we wanted to also be able to assess and compare two different kits. So we are going to do that right now. So we have to tick these two boxes and run this comparison. Again, select the lifecycle stages, select the method that we want to use, and run the calculation. And again, we have to wait shortly. And then we can see that we have these two different product systems that we are comparing, and we see the results for kit 1, for kit 2, which is obviously very nice to see. And we also can see these charts, and we can see, okay, we have kit 1, kit 2, and we can see for every single indicator which is performing better, which is performing worse for these environmental indicators. We can show also this bar graph here, so we can see actually the two different kits, but also the different life cycle stages that are relevant to respective environmental indicators. And that is all I wanted to show for the plugin. And now I will hand over to my next colleague, which is Daniele. Maybe you can take the screen.
Okay. I have the screen. Yes. So good morning, everybody. So this is my name is Daniele, and I'm going to show you the comfort plugin and let's say it's also energy plugin. So probably okay. Sorry, it's too. So why a plugin for energy and comfort? There are different aims that we decided to develop this plugin. In particular, we developed the plugins to have an hourly simulation of the building performance, considering both the energy part and the comfort part. And so in this case, we develop a specific library, open source library based on the ISO 52016. It's called by Building Energy, and it is the engine of the tool that we are using and connecting to the BIM-P platform. This engine is also as a web app that we call the ENCOM, that stands for Energy Conservation Measure Tool. The tool is in line with the new Energy Performance Building Directive recast, that's been approved in March. What I'm going to show you in this presentation is the connection of the
EFC file, so the BIM file, with our simulation tool. So meaning that we are going to collect information of different components that characterize the buildings, in particular the facade, so the geometric part of the buildings, and using this information for the energy simulation. And after, there is the part related to the simulation of the building and evaluation of the possible energy conservation measure, so take into account also economic aspects, and together with energy and comfort. Yeah, in this simulation, we are going to use the virtual demo case in Spain. So that has been also shown before by my colleagues. So we have buildings that has been also modeled using Revit, and in this case, we decide to model the overall buildings, and after we in Revit we also define different properties on the elements that characterize the facade, and in a way that we can visualize this information also in the BIM-P platform. So here there is the definition of the buildings, and after the definition of all the properties, in particular thermal and energy properties, such as, for example, the orientation, the transmittance of the components, the thermal mass, the G value for the window. So all the information that characterize the thermal properties of the facades. So now I'm just running this short video, in which I show you how it works. So we can start with in the BIM platform, in which there are all the projects, and we can just select the ones that is the Spain demo case. So here it's possible to select the components, and for each single component it's possible to visualize its different properties, such as, for example, the thermal properties, so the U value, the thickness of the wall, the thermal capacity, and all the information that we need for the simulation. One of the important things is that you have to create a group. Each group has been created using the different orientation of the components. So all the components that are, for example, on the west side, east side, should be grouped together, because this is important for the simulation, knowing the different orientation of the windows of each group. Also, for the part related to the windows, we have the same information, so both for the opaque and the transparent components. After this, we can go to our tool that is called Encomp. This is the home page. In the home page, we can create the buildings, so we can get new buildings, and in particular we have to provide where the building is located, so selecting directly in the map or providing an address, and after provide other information that are, for example, the building name, the year, the topology, the project in which it is the building refers to. And after this, we can just confirm, and the building is created, has been created, and the only option that is possible to do now is just simulate the building. In the simulation part, there are several information that we are asking to the users, so it requires just few time to be downloaded all the information, but after we can just visualize that all these groups should be available in the geometric part that characterize the buildings. So here, for example, we are now getting all the data that are referring on the building geometry, on the envelope, and in the envelope part we have is the place in which we are working on. In particular, when we have a specific button in which we connect to the BIM platform. So clicking on the button, we can visualize all the projects that refer to the specific user, so all the possible EFC files available, and after we can just select the ones that are referring to the specific buildings, and it in this case is the last one. And after we can import all the groups that we have created before in the BIM platform. So here it's possible to visualize all the group. It's possible to select the ones that we want to have in our energy for our energy simulation. And when after we have selected, there is a connection with the BIM-P API, and we are connecting the two platforms together and getting data directly from the BIM. When we have the tool already imported, we can just refresh the page in a way that we can visualize all the data in our in our tool. And one of the important things is that you can just select the you can visualize all the components that has been that has been imported in our tool. And also there are in those cases in which there are some information that we need but they are missing, the tool provide like a check in red, in which you can provide manually the information that are not available directly from the EFC files. In this case, we are just visualizing some information that has been imported. So if they are imported in well, and after we are going to check and provide the missing data that we need, and also visualizing that all the data that are available for specific components are in the tool. So here, for example, there are some data not available for the roof, for example, in this case. So we need to provide this information manually. So after this, we can just save the data and and running the simulation. After we have run the simulation, we can just sorry. Okay, here we can just run the simulation, and after we have the results, so in which it's possible to visualize all the energy profiles, energy consumption of the buildings, the temperature profile inside of the buildings, and other indicators that can visualize the comfort inside of the buildings. So, for example, through different cluster based on adaptive comfort. So yeah, this is our motto. So simulate, innovate, and elevate. So based on this, you can just improve the performance of your building through the energy conservation measure. So now I leave the floor for the next colleagues. So please, Raja said, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Said Raji, a project manager at Nobatic INFINITE, a private research and technology organization established in 2004 in France. So Nobatic is recognized as the Institute for Energy and Environmental Transition in the field of construction in France. Our activities and services focus on the construction sector, ranging from product scale to district scale. Our expertise spans energy, environment, and technology. We conduct parallel research and development projects engaged in B2B projects and develop a variety of services. Today, I'm going to show you the operation and maintenance plugin developed as part of INFINITE project. This plugin is integrated with the BIM platform that David presented before. Sorry. This tool is designed to support the various stakeholders involved in the managing maintenance actions and visits related to the envelope kits of each building during their operation. It targets the main actors in the operational and maintenance phase of the building, such as facility managers, energy managers, building owners, and technicians are responsible for executing maintenance action. Additionally, it assists technology providers who supply the know-how instructions for technicians and to a lesser extent the inhabitants. So, sorry. Okay. So to ensure the tools usability for all these stakeholders, our primary objective was to develop an easy, user-friendly tool for everyone involved in the project. For practical application by maintainers, the tool needs to be usable both remotely and on-site. This tool is designed to simplify maintenance for inhabitants and facility managers dealing with industrialized envelope integrated components. At the end, the operation and maintenance plugin aims to ensure that building envelope kits perform optimally during their operational phase, serving as an interactive guideline to maintain the highest level of building performance. Thus, the development focused on creating a very simple and ergonomic interface following a predefined workflow that I will show you later. We paid special attention to the interoperability of the plugin to ensure seamless interaction with the One Teams BIM platform, allowing for the exchange of documents and any other information that could be useful for maintenance. Consequently, application program interfaces, APIs, have been developed and documented online. These APIs also enable interaction with the adaptable BIMs, which has been developed as part of the project. The adaptable BIMs can detect events based on specific malfunctions of the kit of sensors, for instance, and it can automatically trigger maintenance action through the plugin in response to these events. Specific development has been implemented in the plugin to allow the end user to connect to the platform interface directly through the plugin. The BIM platform stores the procedures used for the maintenance of the kits within the plugin. The user can connect a building to a BIM platform project using a drop-down menu that lists all authorized projects. This allows the user to see the list of documents associated with the building corresponding to the BIM platform project. On the building documents page, the user can view, add, and delete documents associated with the building using their BIM platform credential. Here is the typical workflow used in the BIM plugin. So the user connects as a facility manager, gaining access to all descriptive information about the building they oversee and the envelope kits installed in each building. All objects in the O&M plugins data model, such as buildings or equipment, can be edited. The user can create or access maintenance action, actions attached to building, which can be sorted by the date, type, priority, status, etc. This allows facility managers to quickly identify the most important actions to be completed in the coming days and weeks. Each maintenance action can be edited and updated. For the maintenance actions are also classified as either preventive or corrective. So preventive actions defined in advance for each specific piece of equipment in the building, and corrective actions may be generated manually for automatically triggered by the adaptable BMS based on equipment level measurement. Sorry. Okay. For the maintenance visit planning, another page allow the user to manage and plan maintenance visit related to the maintenance actions. From the maintenance action page, the user can navigate to a more detailed description of the actions, providing links to the maintenance producer to be applied for each piece of equipment. The user can check the status of each maintenance visit and action. An overall maintenance planning is displayed in the building interface to support the organization efforts of facility managers. A quick demonstration of the tool through a short video highlighting the main functionalities of following this workflow. We start from the login page and directly enter the landing page, which displays the main menu and provides an overview of the essential information available for facility managers. This includes a list of managed building and maintenance action with their priorities. From this landing page, the end user can navigate to the page dedicated to building management and maintenance action management. For each building registered in the tool, the user can see the installed kits. For each kit, they are available procedures that list the actions to be taken along with their associated frequency. Return to the building page, the user gets an overview of maintenance actions related to the specific building, the planned visit for each actions, and an overall maintenance planning. Maintenance actions can be filtered by type, preventive or corrective, as I said, priority and status. For each building, the user also has access to the list of attached documents stored in the BIM platform. Okay, this is all for the O&M plugin presentation. If you want to test the tool, we are available to provide you an access to the tool to get feedback on the usability of plugin and perhaps identify ways of improvement. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, welcome back. I am Davide, and we present now one of the last plugins that we developed together with the BIM-P. This is an installation plugin that is in some way connected to what about our previous presenter about Novatec has saying in operation maintenance. The installation plugin is a particular plugin that we developed about the installation phase of things inside the building. Is a plugin that supports the installation phase and have different objectives, but the main is to help installers, facility managers, and all the practitioners that operate in the phase of installation and dismantling of the building. And the main goal was to provide a sort of interactive guideline to install, to monitor the construction, and to provide quality and safety information for the installers, basically. And we create installation plugin following basically a sort of a procedure. And we see the installation plugin used by two different use cases and two different personas. The first is the technology provider. As you, for example, you can imagine a photovoltaic panel producer or a supplier that give, as we seen in the example, for example, to create a green facade of the building. Then the first part is the installation plugin used by the technology provider, and then we have the same plugin used by the installer, the man in the field. And the first user basically create the results in the plugin and create the installation wizard. That is a installation procedure, that is a step-by-step definition of the things that the installer have to do. And then when the installer, the procedure is published, at the end there is the installer that use this procedure to install the things physically. And as you see in this video, this is the BIM-P, the BIM platform, host the first part of installation plugin, where we create the resource, this resource as a procedure. Then we give a title, give a tag, give it a description, and publish the first part of the procedure. The procedure is very simple. Basically, the user can create a step-by-step procedure, where for each step can upload an image, can add the description, and at the end can select the different tools that must be used to install this thing, and then go through the installation, defining each step. For each step there is the description, not only the photo, but can also upload also a video. The main goal is to create something that is completely digital, manual, or procedure that can be followed by other people to install correctly a thing. And then at the end, when the procedure is completed, and we can see the installer that goes to the field, and they have shared by the manager, by the contractor, which is the procedure that the people must see. And as you see in this video, it's completely changed the media, because we see that most probably the installer works with a smartphone, and inside the smartphone, as you see, the entire environment is completely resized, is completely available to the screen of the smartphone, and see the same steps that are being defined by the installation, by the technical provider directly in the smartphone. Here, the difference is that you see the images with the description, the tools that can be used, but there is another functionality, that is the possibility to take track the installation phase. Then basically, what is really important is that the people can say if the installation goes better or not, as there are issues. Another important thing is that when you are in the field, maybe it could be more useful to see the installation, the items that you need to install in augmented reality. And here is an example available on the smartphone where you can select, for example, the building where you are working, the items where you are working, and then on these items you can see there could be some toolboxes that you see there, for example, where it can be connected with the links, external links, with additional information like documentation, like specification, and so on. And all this information you can see directly on your smartphone, and you can see as a sort of overlay in the real field, in the actual field where there is the building, where there is the item that you can install. And then this is the installation plugin. Basically, it's something that can be used for two different users. One is the technology provider that can put data in how can be installed something as an interactive and digital manual and procedure, and then the final user that can install the things. And is finished. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Davide. So we have run through the presentations of the different features of this digital workflow that we have been developing in these 2 years of solution developments within the INFINITE project. So now we are very, of course, happy to let's say reply to questions. So I will be the one, let's say, picking up the questions that you will do and let's say launch them to the speakers. So I invite all the speakers to turn on the camera, please, for this final part of the webinar. So yeah, I'm reading in the chat and picking up them. I will try to follow more or less the same schedule we had for the presentation. So I think one of the question was for Martino. So in this virtual demo techno-economic analysis, what do you think is the let's say real added value? So what is basically the value proposition of such analysis that you presented, and which related key features, let's say? We don't hear you, Martino. No, still not. Try again. No.
No. Can you
try now?
No. Can you hear me?
Yes. Now, yes.
Yeah. So let's say that right now there are no this kind of techno-economic analysis in a way that you can do it like quite fast. So let's say that you are a building owner or a real estate or a building manager, that you have a lot of buildings. You'd like to run a quite fast and, let's say, cheap analysis in order to see if your building is suitable for a deep renovation with industrialized solution. So with this kind of process, we can run quite easily and fast the simulation, and then you can have the comparison between this approach, so the industrialized one, with the traditional one. Of course, there are still several co-benefits that we need to evaluate on this process. Let's say the fact that you don't have the scaffolding, the fact that the time is very short compared to the traditional retrofit. So all this kind of solution
to us is some added value that can be included in this quite fast process.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, keep on making questions in chat, and we will try to reply. So, and a question for Davide about the BIM platform. So, two actually questions. So the first one is, I summarize as compatibility between the BIM platform and the different BIM software. And the second one is, so for example, can I use the BIM platform if I have a model not in Revit? Of course, this might be an example. And then the second one is, Davide, which is the stage of the development and your vision of, let's call it exploitation after the project ends? That's are the two questions, Davide, so I would let you to reply.
Yeah, basically for the first question about the compatibility, in this moment the BIM platform is based to collect IFC BIM models. Then basically the users can upload the IFC models, and these IFC models, as you know, as the interoperability format, you can export for each BIM authoring tool available on the market. In the project, in Infinite project, we explored how to connect the commercial authoring tool, like for example Revit. We use the Revit for the modeling, and we connect Revit through the API of the BIM-P to the system. Then in this moment is available a package used in Dynamo for the users that are getting know with Autodesk, Revit, and Dynamo. Is available a package that can connect the two softwares, the Revit with Dynamo and the BIM-P. But is completely available the API, that is an open API where each software can connect and then use directly the system. But this is just a sort of a add-on, is something that is a plus in the platform, because all the things that you see in the videos can be done directly on the platform. That, for example, what is seen Daniele in the energy plugin, or also in the others like LCA or operation maintenance, all the things that they are done are directly done in the web application without any using directly of the other applications. About the stage of the development, in this moment we reach the TRL 8, that it was the goal of the project basically. Then we tested in an environment that is the pilots, but also we are started, as Martino have shown you, on with the different designers that are not directly involved in the project. Then TRL is practically reached. The idea is to continue developing the platform in a sort that can allow to be used not only in Infinite but also in other projects, and could be also available if there are requests, there are interest for the external users. Then is a platform that can be used also in the in commercial way, in some way. Is absolutely not at the level of the commercial platform that are used to in the architects engineer sector, but then can be used, it can be available for that.
Yeah, thank you, Davide. Let's go on with the questions, and yeah, thanks also for asking. So you can keep on asking. I think we have still some minutes to exploit this question and answer session. So the other question is for Frederick. So about LCA plugin, what do you think, Frederick, is the main, let's say, target user for that? So the primary target user, and so which feature then can really answer the needs, you think?
Yeah, I think the main functionality that we've realized, which is also I think quite innovative and new, is that we can publish the environmental calculations to BIM-P, and we have so I'd say that the workflow that Martino showed at the beginning, if you think about that, we have data in the BIM-P, so we have different elements, different, I don't know, components, kits, processes in the BIM-P, and what we can do with the LCA plugin is we can attach the environmental calculations to these elements. So then users of the BIM-P, which I would say are traditionally architects, maybe industrial engineers, people involved in the design of these renovation solutions, they can make their decision also based on environmental targets. So they can search the BIM-P and have like different solutions. Let's say there's 3 different cladding solutions that from a functional perspective can be used for the renovation, and they can then search and look, okay, we also want to look at the certain environmental indicators, and we can also base the decision for one of these elements on environmental indicators. I think this is I would say like the newest and so like most relevant to the building renovation sector relevant functionality.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Frederick. Daniele, a couple of questions for you. One is related to the, let's say, relation between the energy and comfort tool plugin and the EPBD recast. So where maybe you can explicitly say what you think is the link. And the second one, how far is the plugin available, let's say, or thought also to make comparison eventually between scenarios? How far is this, let's say, possible? So these 2 questions, EPBD link and scenarios.
Yeah, so regarding the first question, that is for the Energy Performance Building Directive that has been approved in April, I think, of this year. So in this directive, they explicitly say that the evaluation now of the building should be based on standard 52000, and in particular, the evaluation should be done, should be performed on hourly base, so not only on the static one as we are used before with our energy performance certificate. So based on this, what we have done, we have just defined this library in which we calculate the performance of the building based on the 52016. Now the library is open, is developed in Python, so everyone can use it and can test it. It is, as I said before, in line with the new directive, and so in this case you can test your buildings. Even if for now there are some limitation in the implementation that we are going to improve and in the next weeks and months. Regarding the phase in which we have this the use of our tool, so the web application is available online, so it's in the, I want to say, testing phase. So we are find out if there are issues, problem. We are trying to fix bugs, and also for the part related to the connection to the BIM-P, it is available, even if there is I want to say that there is a lot of work before, so meaning you have to model your building in Revit, you have to identify very well all the groups and components in the BIM platform, and after, when you have all this work done, you can export all this information in our tool. So this process, I think, now is a necessary process that we need to evaluate the building, but you can do only one time. So if there is this available, so the connection can be done now also easily. So I mean, we are trying to improve a lot also the interface and the tool. Find out, yeah, I said before, according also the type of building, the possible improvements. And now it is online, it's available, but yeah, I think that there are few rooms of improvement.
Great, thank you, Daniele. Saed, a question for you. So basically, making a quick summary, the operation and maintenance plugin allows the user to basically load data, analyze them, and match them with what is, let's say, the need for maintenance and for action in a specific buildings and so on. So the question is, basically, there is a login system, and how is this the mechanism to protect, let's say, security of data? So how do you ensure basically that the user then work in a let's say, private, secure environment?
Each user has some of level of security with the ID that he has. So we have many levels of security, and each partner can have access to some information that he needs in the project. There is something open for everybody or every stakeholders, and other information we can block some information by the level of we can say the authorization that we can give for each partner in the project.
No, it's clear. Thank you. Okay, David, about the installation plugin. Let's say once, so there are basically two steps. So the one step is the population of the specific information of the installation expected, let's say, and this is to be done by the let's say technology developer or those, let's say, product information. And then to the second step is the people that on site can see this, right? So how about updating this information? So is the plugin say available, or as these features that this information can, let's say, flow in and out easily in order to be updated in time, both by the manufacturer to update, or those during the installation to change something?
Yeah, you explained very well. There's practically a part where we collect data and a part where we then is a sort of feed the data, feed the plugin, and then we use the plugin directly. There is in this moment all the documentation, all the information about drawings, documents, everything that is linked in some way to the specific installation of an item is directly updated in real time. Then if there is some specification, or maybe there is a new version of the data sheet related to a specific item that you are installing, and as this information is uploaded in the BIM-P, automatically the installation plugin received the last version, the last updated version, and this is automatically. The only part that need to be updated is when, for example, is something changing in the procedure. If there is something, for example, the procedure is a step-by-step thing, then maybe could be a step less or a step more in the installation, or something's changed because we need to change the images and so on, yeah, the technology provider need to be update this part, but is something that can be changed very easy in the just one image in out of 10, for example. You don't need to recreate all the procedure, but just to update the single thing. And if there is something, if there is someone in the field that is working on it, he or she received directly this update. And also, just the last thing is that you can also collect directly on the field which is the status of the installation. Then you can directly collect if there's something is installed wrong, or is installed very well, or maybe you need to fix something, and you can collect this information with comments, and on the end, the architect could be informed, because this information is also stored in BIM-P, where the architects have access.
Thank you. Now it's clear. I think we have space actually for just 2 quick questions more that I pick up, and then we close. So thanks again for asking. So 3 final questions for Frederick quickly about social LCA. So is social LCA now included? If yes, how? And eventually future outlook on that, please.
Yes, no, it's included. We can perform a social LCA with the tool. We realized at first the environmental part of it, because it's more common to do environmental life cycle assessment. Also, the social LCA is a bit of
which KPIs do you remember? Some quickly, just as a
yes. Let me check. I mean, so basically we can use the social impacts method, which we use for our calculations, usually in the Circa database, which we provide from Green Delta side. So it has indicators like health expenditure, unsustainable business practices, unemployment, pollution, industrial water depletion, which is of course environmental and social, the risk of fatal accidents in medium risk hours, gender wage gap. So it's like a pretty fairly often used set of indicators, which is obviously not conclusive. There's a lot of research on social LCA at the moment, but these are some examples. Yes. I can't hear you, Stefano.
It's me, sorry, my fault. No, connected to this last question, I can answer maybe as a project coordinator. The question refers to, yes, there are all these plugins now, there is this BIM platform. So what's, let's say, the expected positive impacts for deep renovation in buildings? And the answer from my side that close also, I think, the webinar is the following. So renovation has to be boosted, but renovation is a very custom and I would say with a large variety of possibilities. So it's true that many of these plugins and the BIM platform itself can be applied in general to a building related project, I would say, but we have tried to let's say work in developing such a workflow, especially because in renovation, once you go to industrialized renovation, the key for the success is really the cooperation and right just-in-time action, let's say, with clear information. So this is, let's say, I would say the perfect workflow to really be sure, basically, that the renovation is designed properly, implemented properly, operated properly. And industrialized renovation as really, in this sense, is done by 2 parts, the digitalization and the prefabrication. That's it, is the industrialization in our visions. So all the plugin you have seen the BIM platform as a collector are really enabling this industrialized process that can, we believe, give a relevant boost to the deep renovation actions in Europe. So this said, I want really again to thank all the audience for participating, listening, and asking, all the speakers for the speech and explanation. Of course, the Build Up platform and Lara and Jody to support. Infinite project is still up and running for a couple of years. Please follow us in LinkedIn website and refer in case if for any question to me, and I will drive to the colleagues. So Stefano Vesani from Eurac Research. Thank you. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you very much, Stefano. Thank you to all of you panelists. Just a big thank you and a reminder that our webinar is going to be up in our portal and our YouTube channel along with the slides in the coming days. And we have more webinars coming up in June. So thank you again to all the team in Eurac. And be sure to register to our website for you to provide content for us and for your own project, and follow us on social media. And wish you all a very pleasant week. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.